I thought, I thought our guys did a really good job this week, coming off the Miami game, and turn the page quickly and get ready to go. It was far from perfect, but certainly played well enough to deserve to win. So that's good, and it's good to get this one behind us, and turn our sights to Kansas City. But though we had our moments here in all three phases, but just lack some consistency, to make it better than what it was. But some big plays in all three areas, and hopefully we can build on the positives and still keep working to get some things fixed that we need to get fixed.
Bill, what were your thoughts on Julian Edelman being able to step right back in and pick up pretty much right where he left off?
Yeah, well, it's good to have him back. I think we got a long way to go. We do have a long way to go. So, he had a role in the offense. Certainly not a full one. So see how it goes. Figure it out next week.
Bill, I know that you are team-oriented when you talk about players, but I also know that you're a student of history of the game. To have a quarterback throw 500 touchdown passes, you just talk about that accomplishment for Tom.
Yeah, I mean, it's tremendous. That's a lot of touchdown passes to a lot of different guys too. So, Tom's no quarterback I'd rather have than Tom Brady. So he does a great job, week in and week out, year in and year out. All the situations. I mean, he does a great job.
Bill, Tom gave credit to Josh for how hard he's worked in practice to get up to speed, and that pass he threw, the touchdown pass, is that kind of a reflection of Josh's work ethic to kind of get that kind of trust from Tom, for Tom to throw that pass, and just what your impression was of that play?
Yeah, well, it was an extended play when really the way we drew it up, but ended up being an extended player, two great players making a great play. So Josh has worked hard. Tom spent extra time working with him and really all the receivers, backs and tight ends as well. So it's good to see that hard work pay off.
Bill, there was an NFL Films clip where I saw, and you said to a running back, "Don't outdumb yourself. If you see the hole, take it and go." How well, can you just talk about how well Julian Edelman does that in terms of not overthinking it and being very good at taking what the defense gives him?
Yeah, well, that's to mark any good player. Try not to force things. Try to take what's available and make the best out of it. If it's not there, then sign off and go somewhere else, or cut your losses and move on to the next play. I mean, I think that's all players. It's good advice for all players. But yeah, Julian does a good job of that.
Bill, you only had two halfbacks active on the roster tonight. How big a factor was it tonight to see Sony Michel step up in a second game as the lead runner on the ground and to have a contribution in the passing game as well?
Yeah, those guys did a great job. Both of them did a great job. We were dependent on them for quite a bit, and they came through. They both carried a heavy load and very productively, and did a great job of ball security and making the plays that were available, and also making some plays on their own. They made some guys miss, broke some tackles, gained some extra yards. So I thought it was a great job by both those guys. They really came through for us.
Kind of along the same lines, Bill, just some of the blocking on the interior that they were getting from Andrews and Devlin, it just seems as if the offensive line is working kind of in sync very much with the speed of Michel, and they're getting used to each other. Are you detecting that at all?
Well, I think we hit a couple big runs. Overall we had, I'd say, probably too many runs that weren't that productive, but that was offset by some big chunk runs. So I think there's more yards that we could make there, but they're good up front. I mean, they have a good front. They're hard to block. They stun a lot. They got us on a couple stunts, like they do with everybody. I mean, they lead the league in tackles for loss, whatever it is, second in the league in sacks. So they got a good front. There's no doubt about that. They're a challenge to block both run and pass. So I thought our guys hung in there, but I think we left a few out on the field too.
Bill, you guys allowed 298 yards in the second half. The Colts were able to get back into it. Were you concerned about what you saw in the second half on defense?
Yeah, I mean, look, they're a good passing team. I mean, they could throw the ball as well as anybody. Good quarterback, good receivers, good tight end, good backs, well coached. So they've thrown it against everybody. Lead the league in third down conversions. I mean, that's, yeah. I mean, could we have played better? Yeah. You know, yeah.
Bill, what sense did you get from Julian, whether it was leading up this week or even just tonight, of what it meant to him to be back out there for the first time in, I think it's 20 months in a meaningful game?
I mean, Julian was with us all through training camp. He's here for all the preseason games. Here for all off season. So, I mean, he's been attacking it very aggressively. Then at the end of the spring, when he found out about got the news on that, then when he came to training camp, I mean, he came in with a strong purpose and worked really hard in camp. So, I mean, he wasn't here for a while, but I mean, every day he's been here all year. He's put a lot into it.
A long time since the game counted, it's still different.
Yeah, but I think the question was like, when did I see him work hard, or when did I notice how hard he was working when he came back? I'm just telling you, he's worked hard all spring, worked hard all through training camp. He worked hard this week in the short time that he had to get ready. I mean, that's what Julian does, and he's very consistent about doing that. So it didn't just start happening a couple of days ago is what I'm trying to say.
Hey, Bill, up here. How pleased were you with the turnovers you got on defense, especially McCourty's play on the strip and the takeaway?
Yeah, you're always. I think you always like to see the turnovers on defense that you cause. Sometimes the offense just makes a mistake and you get the ball when you really don't cause it. But when you cause the ball to come out, those are. I think defensively, you take a lot of pride in those. That's really taking the ball away from the offense as opposed to them just giving it to you. So we had a couple plays like that. We had a couple of other opportunities that we didn't capitalize on, but it's always good when you take the ball away from the offense. That's the defense's goal, and we did that a couple times tonight. So that was, it was good.
Couple final questions.
Hey, Coach. Tom Brady got his 226th win, career win, tied Adam Vinatieri, which was on the other side of the field. How much did those two guys, have meant to this organization throughout the years? I know you spoke about Adam.
Yeah, a lot. Well, there's a lot of people who meant a lot to this organization, but certainly nobody more than Tom Brady. But Adam, time he was here was fabulous. Made some of the biggest kicks in the history of the game. Certainly one of the toughest. But he made a lot of them, and so we wouldn't have won a lot of the games that we won without great players like that, or some of the other guys who've been standing out here the last couple of weeks. Light and McGinnis, Ty Law, and so forth. We had a lot of great players back here the last couple of weeks, so it's great to see that. But Vinatieri's, I can't imagine a kicker more deserving of whatever the highest accolade you could get than him. And the same is true for Tom. His records are incredible.
Final question?
Well, with that, I'd just like to wish the Red Sox well in their playoff series, and we're pulling for them. Thanks.